And good morning everybody, it's Country Mouse again. I'm here in Boston in Lincolnshire today, and I'm starting off a walk at the Maud Foster Mill. So the mill itself is currently closed to the public because of the COVID pandemic, but the shop is open, and luckily enough the mill today is actually working, so that is good. I hope, I've got my mic slightly hidden, so I'm hoping that the wind doesn't disrupt too much, because obviously with the mill working like that you can tell it's a windy day. So I've just been looking at some information. So the mill was built in 1819 for the grand sum of what would be today £1,826. So quite a sum in those days, and it's been stood here in Boston ever since. It's been owned by different families, 3 families I believe, the Osler family, the Reckitt family, who I think were the ones that built it, and currently it's owned by the Waterfields. So it's a working mill. It makes flour and oats for local bespoke companies, should I say, you know, small individual shops, and it, as I said, it has its own shop which is open at the moment. So if it has a holiday let, I believe, next to it, and looks like a lovely place to visit, maybe when we're able to do so. It'd be interesting to have a look round. Right, so I'm not going into Boston main town itself because it's very busy. I've just been in there. So what I thought I'd do is I'd start here at the mill, and then we'll walk down the Maud Foster drain up to, there's the sign, holiday lets, it says, up to the where the Maud Foster drain becomes a sluice, depending on time. It's further than I thought, this walk. So that's the Maud Foster drain you can see at the side. Not very attractive here, but as we move further away from Boston centre, it becomes a nicer place with some very unusual houses and things. A lot of the houses round here date from the same sort of period as the mill, so they're constructed in the 1800s. Some new buildings thrown in or added to. The drain itself, Maud Foster Drain, I'll find you some information on that, was a small cut that was extended in 1631, I believe, and the land in this area belonged to Maud Foster, hence the name. Now the drain is used to collect water off the fenlands to prevent the agricultural land and the fenlands from flooding, and it joins on to Boston docks. So just walk into the road so you can get a closer look at the drain. These houses to the side, just pan round to, are 1879. Now they're close to an old hospital, so I'm unsure if they're hospital houses or if they're almshouses. So if you've got any information on that, please leave in the comments. Also, please like, please subscribe to the channel, it's all beneficial. That's Hospital Lane down there. And on the other side there's some sort of water tower by the look of it. Again, I'm guessing 1800s, as most of the properties around here seem to be linked to that age at this point. So as I said, I wasn't intending to go into Boston. I'm just going to cross over again because we're leaving the brick part of the drain, the extended part that goes down to the docks, and the busier part on the edge of Boston, and we're now moving out into a more natural banks and area, which, as you can see, is a lot nicer, unless you like the industrial look. So the sun's behind us, but I'm going to turn around as we cross over. Sorry for anyone on the treadmill, and you can just see the mill disappearing back there. So as I say, I've been in centre of Boston, town centre, and it's really busy, so I'll do that again on a quieter day, because of course there's a lot of history connected with Boston. I'm sure most people know it's where the Pilgrim Fathers came from, set sail from Boston in the Mayflower over to America. So there's a lot of history in the centre of Boston to be found, so I will do that at some point again when it's quieter. At the moment the pandemic is on the rise again. I believe they said this morning something like 10 million or something like that people now in lockdown in some form or other in the UK. Luckily in Lincolnshire, well, East Lincolnshire anyway, North Lincolnshire's on a bit of a red card. It's we're being pretty lucky, so I'm going to try and walk more in the middle of the road so we can get to see this lovely river. You can see the old houses across the way are mingled with new, and on the same on this side. So the river here is beautiful. Although it's actually a drain, most people, once it gets into this natural build-up, people tend to refer to it as a river. Let the car go by. quite a nice area of Boston to live in, with a large house, floor plans and nice gardens. Those on a treadmill, still in the fens and still flat gradient. So I haven't checked the temperature today, but I understand we're supposed to be heading to sort of 18-19 degrees centigrade. So thinking roughly early 60s in Fahrenheit. Sorry about that, I haven't looked it up, so I'm just guessing. You see we've got a boat there. Somebody's obviously got interest in water and wanting a little trip out. Another little boat across the way. So it really is quite a beautiful day. It really is quite windy, so I have got an external mic and I've got it sort of hidden under my top, part of my cardigan jacket thing, in the hope that it doesn't, the wind doesn't disrupt. So, just in case you're interested, it is mid-September. It's a Friday, late Friday morning, I think, about 11ish. And we've still got some beautiful weather, although the mornings and evenings are drawing in now. So needs to get out walking as much as possible. So I'm just going to swing over, just in case you're on the treadmill, prior warning, over the far side there. That is the entrance, or the old entrance to the cemetery. Again, I'm guessing 1800s. They all seem to have similar design, the 1800s. A large cemetery. It has all the war graves in it, and that entrance is only used for funerals, cars now. Pedestrians can use it all the time. I think they only open it to funeral cars on occasions. This side of the road never gets as busy as the other, simply because it's I'm not sure if it is a dead end. I think you can get out the bottom to the main roundabout as you come into Boston, but I'm not sure 100%. But this way you go up here and you join onto a housing lane that takes you down to the A16. So there's small bridges, footpaths, a couple of them across. Brilliant. Hopefully that's done for the year. Somebody there very happy he's just completed his fence cutting, hopefully for this year. Some really beautiful houses here. Just turn you gradually, lovely modern architecture to this house, which doesn't look so out of place with all the old properties around it. So, a real mix of homes and properties. So as you can see across, somebody fishing, and you might notice wooden platforms. So if you've got a license, you can come and fish here. I don't know if it's set times of the year or any time of the year. I must admit, whenever I come into Boston this way, there always seems to be somebody fishing. Because this is a drain, Maud Foster drain, as I said, it's not tidal. So, a bit like when I walk the Haven part of Wainfleet. If you haven't seen that walk, that's another one you can look at. This goes to Boston Haven. Haven is an old term for safe home, safe house, safe waters. And this joins the docks at Wainfleet, at Boston Haven. And Boston Haven then will take the water out to sea as it's tidal. So this drains the water, holds the water, so it goes up and down slightly depending on rainfall on the fens and heat, but as a general rule, as you can see from the weed banks, unless there's excessive rain or excessive drought, it doesn't tend to cause a problem. Beautiful old willow tree across there. I'm sure that's been stood here a long time. Very old looking boat there, whether it's still usable, I don't know. Quite a cute name though. Then we have new building groups. When I say new, they've probably been here since 70s or 80s. And then fields out to the back. I just wondered if a crossover just can nip down here. Oh, again, apologise for the wind. I seem to be walking straight into it now. Whether you can see that building, quite a large building in the distance, that's on the main road there, the A16, you can see the traffic. That is Pilgrim Hospital. So, well, that's better, walking away with the wind behind us now. And Pilgrim Hospital's the main NHS hospital for this area. The next one being Lincoln, I believe. Always reminds me of a battleship, the colour it's painted and the way it stands. Again built 70s, 80s. Old station house across the road there. So the bridge we're coming up now to is the railway bridge. So again, if you've seen videos that I've done near Wainfleet, you'll have seen an Ingswood. This is the same rail line. Just goes in one direction from Boston over to the coast and to Skegness. I do believe, I think we tried it once just to see, but I think if you try, you can actually cross the line 8 or 9 times. And you see it's single track. And so, just coming up to the bridge over Pilly's Lane. Just one thing to mention, if you know what these floats are that I've seen near a couple of the bridges, be interested to find out. Please leave in the comments, leave me a note. Also, if I've got anything wrong or you should think I should add, please let me know. Because if I find any corrections before I release my videos, I do make a note in my comments before I do that. And quickly over. So this is a public footpath. So rather than walk on the main roadside, we're going to walk the public footpath. Not quite sure how far this goes, or it may go down to the sluice. That is my hope. Hawthorn bushes and trees full of fruit. Start of the colour for autumn. And the drain continues on the other side. I don't know whether you can see it through the trees. The main road on the other side, I'm not sure the number, but that one goes all the way towards Coningsby and Horncastle, or you can divert off it, go through Sibsey and back on to the A16, which is over to this side of us in the distance. Dragonflies about, or damson flies, quite a lot actually. Whether you can see them flitting about in front of us. Turn you around. There you can see the train. So again, I think I said on Ingswood, not a a large train area. Just small. I think the most carriages you'll get height of summer, a normal summer that is, would be 4. Occasionally do get the odd steam train for having something special happening. Morning. So once again you can see Pilgrim again in the distance, and the large tower next to it, that is the tower for the incinerator. If just in case you're walking, you'll see these wooden posts with arrows on if you're following public footpaths and you're unsure where to go, have a look for them. So there's a public footpath that goes down there. The one we want goes this way. So there's a pathway there, that's private land that goes to the golf course. The building we've just walked around is the Limes. I think it used to be a B&B and do cookery courses there, but I'm not 100% sure. And we're here at the Sluice. So this is where the Maud Foster ends. The land over, as you can see, the golf course and properties there. There's the sluice gates. I think it becomes Bargate Drain or something over to that side. And I'm not sure if it carries on slightly a little way that way before it gets renamed. The lily pads out there. Sorry, I'm going to turn into the sun, but the land down there. So nice little pub overlooking the drain. There, lots of old willows, weeping willows. So very quite pretty, quite peaceful, apart from the road. So we're 35 minutes in. I think I'm going to call it there. Walk back towards Boston. Don't think there's really a lot but the main road. Oh, you can see either a young swan or a goose on the water. So I'd like to say thank you for walking with me. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Maud Foster Drain and a little bit of Boston, and hopefully we'll be able to expand from that and do one in Boston, maybe at a later date when it's not so busy. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, especially if you've got any information that you think I've missed or got wrong or you think I ought to know. So it's been lovely having you with me. Please come back again, please look at some of my other walks. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Keep walking. Bye.